Hey friends, it's Stephanie here with the Only God podcast, sharing stories only God could write. And I hope you're enjoying the interviews and even my personal stories. And honestly, I'm sharing my personal stories kind of every other interview. Because it's like a lot to try to coordinate people's schedules. And so I just hope you're enjoying my stories also in the mix as I interview people. And if you have somebody that you think I should interview, feel free to shoot me an email at onemakingadifference@gmail.com and just tell me a little bit about the person. And I'll do some research. I'm not making any commitments that I'll be able to interview everybody because I already have a long list, but I'm still praying and always looking to see who God might want to bring on the podcast. So today, I thought I would wait for this story, but I just can't because something happened today, and I was like, I gotta at least share a bit about this story, and then you will be hearing more about this story probably over the next year. And I hope to do an interview with the person that I'm going to talk about today, and just kind of my little journey with her. So it was back in 2016. I was speaking at a retirement community, and I honestly can't remember the topic that I was talking on. It might have been how to write a book, it might have been the Giving Challenge, because the only book I had out was my first book, The Giving Challenge. And after I got done, an older lady came up to me, introduced herself as Judy, and she had told me she had written a book and was like really interested in the publishing process. Like, how do you get a book published? And so we had a great conversation. And honestly, I left that event and really didn't think about Judy after that. I just kind of go to events. I always meet a lot of people, answer any questions anybody has, how I can help them, and I go on my way. Well, fast forward, so that was 2016. Fast forward 6 years to November 2022. I am keynoting a volunteer appreciation event, and the organization does giveaways for my books. And one of the books that they were giving away was my second book, The Gratitude Challenge. Just went with the theme of the evening, of appreciation for their volunteers. And the lady that actually wins the book is none other than Judy. She comes up to me, asks me if I remember her, and she shares with me that she finished her book. And I was just so excited. And so this is her book. It's called Hold My Hand. If you want a copy, message me. You can get it on Amazon, or hopefully by the time this comes out, you'll be able to get it on my shop also, so we can send it to you directly and build a relationship with you. And so I was just so excited. So I immediately go get the book, read it. Friends, it is such a beautiful book. So Judy, she volunteers, that is her life. And if I even read about the back of her book, I mean, she's won many Volunteer of the Year awards. But, and she wrote this when she was 81 years old. So it's never too late to pursue or dream or a goal that you have. But she sings. She goes and she's at hospice and she's with the sick, and she sits at the bedside of those that are dying and she sings hymns. And so this is just a beautiful book. I was so excited when she said, hey, I talked to you and then I was able to get my book published and out there. And so that was in 2022. Okay. So November 2022, I speak at an event. She wins my book and we get this moment. I actually get a picture of it because I was just so excited to see her again. fast forward 2025. I have not seen Judy in the last, 2.5 years. And I'm in our bookstore at the Press in downtown Valparaiso. And I'm looking for a copy of her book because my great aunt, my great uncle had passed away, and my great aunt had wanted to start volunteering in hospice. And I thought it would be a beautiful book to share with her. And so I get her the book, and Dia, who is at the store, basically says, you need to get in touch with Judy. It gives me her phone number. I lose it. And I don't even know how I lost it, which I ended up finding it a week ago. Anyways, I end up through a series of events getting my phone number to Judy. She calls me, and about a month ago, I end up at her house, sitting in her home. And what I learned is she had somebody that was helping her with a book, but that person, I think, got a full-time job or something like that, and she needed somebody to come in and help her. And I was like, I'm here for it. I want to help you. But what we realized is Judy didn't just have one book. She had at least 2 books, and the more that I talk with her, Judy has a lot of books. And so yesterday was a Wednesday. I was once again at Judy's house, and we started looking at all of her beautiful paintings that she has turned into cards. I mean, aren't they just beautiful? And Judy didn't know that she could paint until she didn't know what age. I mean, it was definitely after 70 when she started painting. And so we're working on a book with her paintings and some of her short sayings. So this is another only God moment. And now I'm going to be spending Wednesdays with Judy. But as a preparation of helping her with these books, I went back to her book. And when I opened it up, I saw this picture. And underneath of it, it reads, "Preach the gospel all the time. If necessary, use words." And that's St. Francis of Assisi. And that is her second, I think she told me that was the second picture she ever drew. She started in black and white. I got chills, friends, because in my book, The Giving Challenge, I open my book with the exact same quote. Preach the gospel always, and if necessary, use words. Friends, what are the chances that we use the same quote in our books and the Lord continues to connect us over almost a decade? Now, this is just a fun little thing. We were in Staples together today, working on our project. And I happened to just we were standing in line, and I kept looking at her ears, which I know sounds weird, but I just kept looking at her ears. And then we had to move to another line. And finally, I was just like, "Judy, are your ears pierced?" And she's like, "Oh gosh, no." And I said, "Mine aren't either." And we just had to hug, and she was like, "You're the easiest birth I've ever had," or something to that effect. Yesterday she was calling me her granddaughter, and I was like, "That's great because I've lost both of my grandmothers." And so anyways, I was just like, only God, I don't think I know anybody else, women who are, I'm 48, Judy's 89 now, who don't have their ears pierced. If you know anybody, please send me a message, drop it in the comments. And I was just like, Lord, thank you for continuing to confirm that your hand is all over this relationship and how I'm helping Judy, but how Judy is helping me on this path. And if you would look at us, obviously we're 40 years apart and going on this new little adventure together. And this morning, as I was just preparing for this, I got to thinking. I keynoted a Momco event a couple of weeks ago. And the title and the topic of the conversation of my talk was unexpected friendships. And I think so many times in life, like we put barriers up of who we can be friends with, who we can't be friends with. Like think about anything like age, race, um, economic status, like career, not career, mom, not mom, like fill in the blank. Like think about who you are and everybody opposite of you. And a lot of times, like our friends, like look like us, have things in common with us. And I have really been stretched outside of my comfort zone ever since really my giving journey of like stepping outside my box and having friends of all ages, economic status, races. And I mean, what a beautiful, like, more full life that I have, because I have friendships that they don't all look, sound like me and kind of, put me in a mirror. So anyways, that was just something that really hit me this morning as I was preparing because, to us down here on earth, it seems like such an unexpected friendship of somebody who's 45 years apart. But no, like God, friendships are so beautiful in the Bible. When I was giving my talk, I talked about, and a lot of the friendships in the Bible for women, they are related, but I don't think that is a barrier for being friends. Also, I'm great friends with my mother and my sister, and but if we look in the Bible with Mary and Elizabeth, or Ruth and Naomi, or Mary and Martha, those were the three that I brought up, and they had a lot of differences if you look into their stories, but they also had a lot of love for each other, a lot of caring, a lot of compassion, loyalty. They were honest with each other. And so I hope you enjoyed today of just me sharing an only God story with an only God connection. And I really challenge you to listen to that nudge of the Holy Spirit, that tug on your heart. If you feel like someone crosses your path, that you need to take a step of faith and befriend them, start a conversation, go have coffee, go have lunch, invite them into your home. And you never know what kind of unexpected friendship that you will be blessed with. So thank you for listening to another episode of Only God, sharing stories only God could write. Hey friends, thank you for joining me today on the Only God podcast. I hope today's story encouraged your faith and reminded you that God is still writing our stories each and every day. If you were inspired by this episode, please share, subscribe, and tell a friend. And to stay connected with me and find out about all my books and resources and events, go to shineforwardcreative.com. Have a fabulous day.